What's up, guys? In this episode, I interview Juan Manuel Barrientos. He is a world-renowned chef and the owner of El Cielo Hospitality Group. Guys, this guy is incredible. In this episode, we explore all kinds of different topics from like how to succeed, obviously, in the restaurant business, what he's done in the restaurant business, what kind of technology he's implementing, and also the future of the hospitality space. Guys, we talk about some crazy things. Not just the future of the hospitality space, like in general. I'm talking about hospitality in space, literally. We talked about this, like literally serving food on the moon. Guys, you got to see this episode. I can't wait for you to see. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Hey, my name is Brett Linklater, CEO and co-founder of Dineline, a restaurant growth agency. We help restaurant brands of all sizes grow and scale to new heights, whether that means opening new stores or increasing revenue at an existing location. We have a done-for-you model where we take care of all the work for our clients on the marketing front, and we also have a unique software solution called Dishio, which allows owners to showcase their restaurants in the best light possible online, while also turning guest interactions into data to increase profits. Right now, you're listening to our podcast, Restaurant Misfits, where we'll discuss all things related to restaurant marketing, management, and everything else in between growing a restaurant business. Scaling a restaurant today takes much more than having grit and hustle. In this age, it's about utilizing the newest technology, educating yourself on new platforms and trends, and having a deep understanding of how the industry is changing. This podcast is dedicated to keeping you up to speed with the latest and greatest through interviewing the biggest and the best in the restaurant industry. As always, we appreciate you for being here, and we hope you enjoy the show. Cheers. What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Brett Linklater, and I'm sitting here with Juan Manuel Barrientos. Juan, how are you?
Very, very good to be here.
Awesome,
Very
man.
nice.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm so glad we met because I know obviously we chatted through Instagram, came by your restaurant. To be honest, I was just expecting like, hey, we'd meet, maybe have a coffee, maybe a cocktail, and then you started bringing all these dishes, and I'm like, oh, we might have a pretty amazing dinner ahead of us. My girlfriend looks at me, by the way, and she's like, what's going on here? I was like, I don't know, let's see what happens. But man, everything you brought out was incredible. It was like the best meal I've had, and I don't even know how long. That was amazing.
Thank you
appreciate
very
it,
much.
man.
Thank you. Yeah, we try to create a new type of cuisine called modern Colombian cuisine.
Yep.
So we take Colombian ingredients and then we start creating new dishes based on new cooking techniques or techniques that are not used in the traditional cuisine.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was awesome, man. I loved it. And your cocktails too, everything was so unique. I mean, really. But so you have a very unique taste, like you just saying. And like you, from what I remember, you brought that style of cooking to Colombia, right? Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, another chef also started.
Yeah.
And I think it was the beginning of a movement that's becoming very strong in Colombia. And it's based on the local ingredients, recreating new dishes and new ways of cooking and dining in fine dining, especially in the restaurants. Yes.
So what was your whole inspiration for this, by the way? I mean, you're from Medellin, right?
Yes.
Born and raised. I know obviously now you spend time between a lot of different places, which is amazing. I love that lifestyle too, kind of the same way. What was the inspiration? How did you come across this flavor, taste, style?
First, I started studying with a Japanese chef, Anita Mai, in Buenos Aires. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Spain to work with Juan Manuel Barrientos. He's one of the best chefs in the world, and he took Spanish cuisine maybe 30 years ago and recreated as the new Spanish cuisine. So when I saw what he did to the Spanish cuisine and how he created a new movement,
totally.
I said okay, I can do this with Colombian cuisine. So I came back to Colombia 16 years ago and opened El Cielo, the first Cielo.
That's amazing. And what year was that again?
2007.
2007. And so now at this point, you guys have, I know, 2 in Miami now, SLS and Brickell. You got the Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And then you have Bogota.
Medellin and Bogota.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that's epic. And so I know, okay, so for us at our company, Dineline, we work with a lot of restaurant owners, and the biggest struggle I think a lot of them always tell me at least, is especially when they're growing, going from one store to two stores is double the work, right? It's a big jump for some people, right? They're going from like, hey, I'm only in that one store, and now all of a sudden I'm in the second store, and they're having a tough time with that, juggling the two stores. From what I've heard from a lot of restaurant owners, and tell me your opinion on this, is like once you get past that second store, the third's tremendously easy. You now at 5, how are you managing all that? I mean, especially in different countries and all that, so far apart. How's that been for you?
So I mean, your theory is right based on when you talk about stores.
Yep.
Fine dining restaurants each one is extremely difficult.
Totally.
Because each one is unique to local products. So here the menu is different than Washington, than Bogota. And so each one is a challenge, and it's not like replying a franchise. But I think the secret, even in a franchise or in a fine dining restaurant, the secret is having a great team with DNA of the brand and what we call like they hold the legacy of the brand, and that way they can transmit that to all the local teams. So it's very important to have
100%. But how do you go about finding your team though? I mean, like finding good team members, employees in general, is a struggle for a lot of restaurant owners. Yes. How are you going about this? What are you doing?
We are very lucky that we made ourselves a name.
Yep.
Many young people want to work with us. So we kind of have like a school inside so people start growing.
Yeah.
And it's a win-win because they don't have a ceiling.
Yeah.
You can start being a runner in Medellin and ending 10 years later being a manager in Washington.
Oh wow.
So they don't have a roof. They can grow in the company.
Got it.
At the same time, we have great talent that we are investing in them, in their knowledge, and they are retributing that to the company by their loyalty and time in the company. That's
amazing, man. I mean, so you're saying you could start at the very bottom and you can become a chef. You can do whatever it is. That's amazing. Wow, I love that. I really love that. And people that are finding you, it's obviously at this point it's through your name, but what about in the beginning? When you were first starting out, you're building your name, what was that like? Talk to us about that.
I never imagined being here, achieving what I achieved. I always say that if you have courage enough to bet on your dreams, reality is bigger than imagination. So because people cannot imagine how much amazing things are gonna happen if they go blind to bet on their dreams.
I love that.
So it was like a step by step.
Yeah.
I wasn't 15 years ago, I'm saying I'm gonna make my name worldwide. 15 years ago, I'm saying like, I want the people in my neighborhood to come to my restaurant. When I build that name, I say, okay, I want the people of the city to come to a restaurant. Then from the state, then from the country. So it was like an evolution, and it felt natural. It didn't felt like pushed.
Wow. No, I love that because it's funny. I mean, like in our business, right? I always tell people this too, is like, to be successful in the restaurant business, you must have a great product and service. Marketing is always going to come second, right? It's always like product and service first, and then you can look to grow the business with your marketing, advertising, whatever it is. But so many people, from what I've seen, and it's just like, it's ridiculous though, is that a lot of restaurateurs, when they're first starting out, I mean, they're investing in all these different areas except for themselves and their business. Even when it comes to the marketing, they're like, well, can we start with this kind of budget, this very small budget, because I already got all my money in X, Y, and Z. I'm in the stock market, I'm in real estate, I'm in all these other places. But like betting on yourself, it's like, damn, this is literally it. This is your cash flow machine. And so you have these people, and they're betting on everything else but themselves.
Yes.
When you look at growing your business, what does that look like for you? I know you're actually doing a few things. I saw you have a foundation as well. You're giving back. talk to us about how you look at like investing into yourself and your business. Is that into the marketing? Is it your team? What does that look like?
So I believe that entrepreneur brands have very strong correlation in their first years of growing between the personal brand and the brand.
Yeah.
A very easy example is Steve Jobs and Apple.
Yeah.
Now Apple don't need Steve Jobs, but at the start, everybody was looking at personal brand and a brand. So I believe that the growth of El Cielo brand is as important as my name to a certain point.
Yeah, no, I
Maybe
agree.
in a couple of years, the company grows to the point that El Cielo will be more known than my name. And then we'll flip that I'm getting more forgotten intentionally, so the brand can fly alone.
I see.
So I think in the first years, maybe the first 20 years of a brand, you have to have a very strong correlation between the founder and the brand, and the personal brand, the founder's personal brand, or the visionary of the brand, because there are many examples of great companies that have 2-3 founders, but one is the visionary and the personal brand face of the logo of the brand. So I think that correlation is very important, at least in my perspective, and that's why we have always like saying how do we correlate, and it's easy. I'm the chef, like it's no brainer, like the chef is the head there, but at some point we have hotels. We have one hotel, we're building our second, and next year our third hotel. So at some point the brand's gonna fly alone, and I'm gonna leave it fly, and maybe I go back to the to behind the scenes. But I think that's part of the evolution of a brand.
I completely agree, by the way. I mean, I think your personal brand is something that's overlooked by a lot of people, to be honest. Specifically in the restaurant space. I mean, like I'm a marketer. I build software, but everything I've done also for myself in the digital space is part of building a personal brand, right? People. I always say this: people buy from people, not brands. But to your point, it does get to a point where the brand will outgrow the founder, like you said, Apple, of course, obviously. I love that, man. I absolutely love that. When you were going about building your personal brand, like how did that all happen too? Was that kind of a natural thing for you to? You have 1 million followers on Instagram?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I think as I told you, it came natural. It looks a lot, but I started working 24 years ago. First with my father, he's an entrepreneur. I learned a lot from him about business and entrepreneurship.
Totally.
Then I start cooking, and after that, when I opened my first business, I like kind of merged both knowledges.
Totally.
And so it was like I've been building like my chef's name for 20 years. So it's not a fast thing.
Yeah.
It's not that you're planted one day to another. But it's like a natural growth of how do you let your work talk about you.
I love that.
And I think each time I always, my philosophy is I have to steal smiles from my clients with my food. So it's amazing. Each time I steal a smile, it's my work talking in my name.
Got it. I'm gonna write that down, man. That's so good. But the thing is too, is like you said, this has been a 20-year process, obviously. That's a long time. And I think so many people today specifically is like, they get in the business, especially the restaurant business, you know how long it takes. You've been there, you've done 20 plus years. Like they're not willing to put the time in. There are too many people are approaching this business with the idea that, hey, I'll start it out and, you know, we'll be okay in the first 6 months to a year. And if we're not, we're out of business and we move on. We try something else. I give up. I mean, here's what I always say too. Look what happened during COVID. All these restaurants shut down. Tons and tons, right? I mean, some people think it's harsh to say, but I think the reality is that like all the restaurant owners that weren't really restaurant owners or shouldn't have been there, they're all gone.
Yeah, going
They didn't weather the storm.
Yeah.
Like they're gone. Those like yourself, those that fought, those that innovated during this time, like they're still here.
Yes.
We lost, God, I forget the exact numbers, but we lost a huge percent of our team during COVID. We were working with tons of restaurants that they shut down, and it wasn't like we're shutting down and we'll come back. It's like we lost everything. Yes. We're two in the hole. We're never going to come back. We may never open a restaurant again. So, you know, it's sad, but I think people they're not willing to put the work in, basically. And I think this isn't just the restaurant space, but man, that's amazing dedication. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 40.
Okay. Wow. So you started at 20.
I started working at 16.
Got it.
And then as a chef at my 20s. Yes.
Got it. Wow. That's amazing, man.
Another bad thing about the quarantine is that already social media being a great tool for many things and a really bad thing for other many things.
Yeah.
Social media, fast scrolling, made people change their brains, the way their brain are mapped.
Yeah.
So the attention is not that everybody has attention disorders, like deep attention disorders, but each time people scroll and scroll during their lives for tens of years, that map of the brain start having a problem of attention disorder, and also change the behavior of people and the way they work. Because you may think, okay, I have a pause of 30 minutes. I work in whatever, in a restaurant, in an office, home office, whatever. And then you scroll from 10 minutes and go back to work. Totally. If you do that for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, that demand and that cost, that behavior of change your mind every 3 seconds, seeing different things.
Yep.
Start changing your ability to put attention in your life for long periods of time. And when you are going to achieve a dream, whatever your purpose is, that scrolling, that social media have changed your brain and let you be more weak in the rough times.
Yeah.
Because you are used to see a lot of change very fast. And when you have a long-term goal, you need endurance. So part of the attention that you are giving to social media is fucking up your dreams in the future.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Wow. You're totally right. I mean, it's funny because you look at like millennials versus the previous generation, the boomers, right? And personally, I mean, this is a knock. I'm 31, so this is a knock towards the millennials. And it's like, man, I personally think my whole reason for doing what we've done at this point, being successful, is I just work harder than most people. Yeah. Like, I think the average person now, they're a little bit lazier than they were back in the day. They want instant gratification, like you're saying. They're used to this ADD lifestyle of just, I ask and I get. You right now, I mean, you can get a car delivered arrive at your house in 3 minutes. You can get any meal you want delivered to your house. You don't have to leave your house. Yeah. Everything's on demand. You want entertainment, you pull out your phone. 2 seconds later, you're looking at a million different posts that can spike your dopamine in some kind of way. Right? Yeah. People are used to this. And I think it's the longevity. You got to push. But I love that, man. I totally respect that. And I think, again, this new age of restaurateurs, sometimes they don't fully understand that. But you innovated in a lot of ways. You innovated on digital, with a lot of restaurateurs haven't figured that out yet. Building a brand for yourself, building your personal brand, innovating the food space completely in Colombia. How big is your staff at this point, by the way? How big is your team?
My team, so when the quarantine started, 180.
Got it.
6 months after quarantine ended,
Yeah.
we were 250. Right now we're 400, and we'll end this 2024 600
Oh my God. 600.
employees. Yeah.
Oh my God. So anybody listening to the podcast, he's got 600 people on his team.
I have 400.
Okay,
right
400. So
now.
you're
I am this year. I'm hiring 200 people this year.
Okay, man, that is incredible. But think about this too, and this is what I always love in being an entrepreneur and being a founder. You're giving 400 people right now the ability to live, provide. You're providing for 400 people. You're doing a lot of work for a lot of people. You're changing lives on a regular basis. I mean, that's got to feel good though. I mean, like, I love it. I think our team is 52 at this point. But man, like, that's incredible, man. That's so cool. So let's talk about LCL. Let's talk about the business, because what was so interesting to me when we met is how you guys do business. When you make a reservation, you pay ahead. They're paying the full meal in advance.
Yes,
and how does that work?
In some cities. So our philosophy is like, we value our work, and if you're coming, you have to value it the way we value it.
Got it. For sure.
So we, like an opera, you have to buy tickets. If you don't go, you miss the opera.
Yeah.
So this is not like a regular restaurant that you make a reservation and cancel it. If you make a reservation, we are buying ingredients, we are paying payroll, the rent, everything. So if you're not coming, we don't care if you are not coming. We already paid everybody. So you are committing with us that we're gonna give you an experience.
Got it.
So based on that philosophy, depending on the city, for example, in Washington, you pay the full menu ahead. In Miami, you pay $100, but in Washington, you can change your reservation 24 hours prior to the day of the reservation and change it during the next month.
Got it.
In Miami, if you miss it, you miss it. So it's different, but it's because of the city, of the culture of the city. We kind of adapt some. There are a couple of other restaurants doing the same thing.
So Miami, if you miss it, you still pay though.
Yes,
right?
you pay the 100.
Got it. The 100.
Yeah.
Got it. I can respect that, because Miami people are a little bit flaky.
Yeah, we
imagine.
used to have. I figured that out like 7 years ago, that we were going to a restaurant, and a friend of mine say like, okay, I'm gonna do reservations in 3 restaurants, and we'll figure out which one we are going at 7 p.m. And she did 2 days before 3 reservations in 3 different restaurants, and I say. And I was like shocked, and I said, wow, 2 restaurants are gonna miss that table and the potential clients they could have attended. So I start understanding that. And another thing that also the industry here is changing in fine dining, because I didn't invent that. This is like around maybe 100, 200 restaurants in America are doing it.
Yeah.
But it's not too many restaurants doing it.
For sure.
The other thing that's changing, and that will change definitely, that's already starting to change in fine dining restaurants.
Totally.
It's called dynamic range menus.
Okay.
So in a Friday, the menu is expensive, like a hotel.
Ooh.
Or an air flight.
Got it.
In a high season, you pay more. In a low season, you pay less. So the hotels do it, the airlines do it, restaurants are starting to do it. And I think it's fair, because if you have a very low season like summer here in Miami, it's a season that you may sell a ticket cheaper. But if you have Formula One, and it's 1 week that's crazy, why don't you charge more?
Totally.
Because there's people coming willing to pay, and if you are a local, you just wait 1 week and have a cheaper menu.
This is very interesting. So. Dynamic range pricing. It's like almost like back in the day with Uber would surcharge. You know, if there's demand, why not? So that makes perfect sense. Tell me, like, are you guys actively doing this, or is this something you're looking into?
We're gonna start doing it this year.
Amazing.
Especially this year, we're gonna start in Miami, in the high seasons, in Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays.
Got it.
Formula One, like US Open weekend, the Ultra weekend.
But I mean, even if like you were just doing it on the Fridays versus like a Wednesday night, which I'm sure is more busy on a Friday, I mean, the having the ability to like do that, I would imagine it would push more people during the week too, potentially. I mean, if you're expensive on a Friday and you're cheaper on a Wednesday and someone wants to try you.
For us, it's going to be new, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I've seen it in a couple of restaurants, and basically it helps people think or understand that they can go cheaper on the weekdays.
Mm-hmm.
And people that is willing to pay more because they are a tourist in a city.
Yep.
They will pay. This started in a restaurant in Chicago, or they were one of the first ones, and they have tourists in Chicago on a weekend, and people is willing to pay high prices because when you are a tourist, you are willing to spend a little bit more than when you're into day-to-day basis. So locals started going in the weekdays, and tourists started coming in the weekends.
Got it.
And that's a good thing because it's good business for the restaurant.
Got it. Man, I love that idea. You said some restaurants are doing this. Do you know any names by heart?
Alinea it's in Chicago. They are like geniuses of business. Like,
okay, Alinea.
I think every restaurant touring fine dining are looking or of what they are doing in terms of approaching the client, pre-charging the menus.
Totally.
I think that they are a really good example of creating a new way of approaching the business in fine dining.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wow. Man, it's such a great idea. I've literally never heard anyone talk about this.
Yeah.
But it makes perfect sense because I think for us, like even our clientele, right? They're like, hey, Brett, we're completely packed like Friday through Sunday, but like no one's here on a Tuesday or Wednesday. How can we do that? And I swear to God though, like if the pricing was structured to be more expensive on the weekends versus the weekdays, which it makes sense, like it's supply demand, right? Like I would imagine more people come in during the week.
And it's about how do you build your storytelling and your speech.
Totally.
Because you can tell to somebody depending on the city.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have an expensive menu in Formula One.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna have, this is our price menu, but in a Monday it's a cheaper menu.
Yeah.
It's the same. One is gonna be $400, the other day is gonna be $350, but you can tell everybody, our price point is $450, but if you come in a Monday, it's $350.
I love that.
And then if you change your narrative, you can say, okay, we are $350, but in Formula One, we're gonna be $400. Depend on the city. Many people would think that giving the discount is better because we can say, okay, our price is $400 and we'll give you a discount for coming on Monday. But there are cities and there are certain niche of people that want to pay more. So they say, I don't care, I don't want discounts, I want to pay more. So maybe, and we have seen it, that people is, no, I don't want the 350, the 400 menu paid on for 450. I want the menu to be 350 and you charge me $50 more because I'm paying because I'm going the day where everybody's spending more, because this is a city where everybody's trying to show off.
100%.
So you have to understand the culture of each city where you are.
That's so interesting. Man, but you're thinking about this with so much more strategy than most restaurant owners are. Because all they say, I mean, for us a lot of times, great food and service is all you need. Oh my God, that's just the beginning. There's so much more to that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We figure out that because we start doing that to protect our sales, the products we bought, the payroll we were having.
Totally.
And then at the end of a year, we, without us knowing, because we went to different platforms like Talk, Toast, 7 Rooms, Resi, Open Table, whatever. There are different reservation and payment platforms here. And then we figure out that this is very strange. So a restaurant, it's when you're sitting in a restaurant, you're buying a product, but at the same time you're buying a service.
Totally.
And many places you go to Whole Foods, you're buying product. even its experience of shopping and everything, blah, blah, blah. But restaurants, in their nature, they have, in the equation, service and product. But when we figured that out, we figured out that that product and that service, that it was offline, like one-to-one, we did 60% of our annual sales online because we do 60% of food sales.
Ooh.
So we realized two things. Our waiters, because we just have one tasting menu. We don't have a la carte, we don't have to push lobster or caviar service or whatever. We have one menu, you pay one menu. So we figure out two things. Servers are not selling 1 gram of food. The brand is selling the food online because once you arrive to a restaurant, you're not buying food, you already pay for it. What we have to train the services to know the food they are selling, they are serving, know it, not sell it. But we have to train them in selling beverage.
Got it.
So they are not trained to sell food because the brand is selling food online.
That's
so we have
amazing.
60% of sales online of food that is going to be served offline.
I see.
As a product with a service.
I love that.
And
So they're deciding like certain drinks to go with certain dishes?
Yes, we do
They're
wine
making
pairings,
suggestions.
and we have great somms. So
Got
we
it.
do wine pairings, and you have the opportunity to do 3 glasses of wine pairing, 5 glasses of wine pairing. Even some menus have 9 glasses of wine pairing. You
Oh my
decide.
God. So, and just to be clear, so you said 6% of sales are happening online. So they are, if someone shows up, not like they're not showing up, like Miami, if they don't show up, they're paying $100. But someone, when they make a reservation, they're paying ahead for the meal.
We have walk-ins. Like
Yeah.
if we have an empty table and you walk in, we'll charge you a full menu. That's it.
Totally.
Yeah, because we already have.
But someone, when they make the reservation, they're deciding I want to go there on a Friday.
Yeah.
They're booking it and they're paying ahead.
Yes.
Right. Okay. That's amazing. God, this is the thing though. Like you said yourself, you guys are at the point where you can do that. A lot of restaurants, they're not even close to that. But being able to get to that point is incredible. You were bringing all this up with this surge pricing and all this for like higher demand, and I love it. It made me think a couple things. I know some Open Table recently. Like if you're booking, certain restaurants have like experience, I think they charge more for that. I've seen that a little bit. So I think it's happening on some of the apps now, like Open Table. Have you ever heard of the app called Dorsia, by any chance?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you guys used that?
Yeah, we're gonna start using it, but
Yeah.
we use Talk, Toast, Open Table. We're starting with 7 Rooms and Dorsia.
Got it.
But here's the catch. Those apps are great for restaurants and they are great for us, and we will continue work in the future and getting a strong relationship with them.
Yeah.
But because we just sell tasting menus, prefix
Totally.
menus. The thing is that because we are a company in different cities with one brand, we sell around 100,000 tasting menus per year
Oh my God.
in the 4 cities we are.
Yeah.
5 because Miami and Miami Beach are 2 cities, but so we realized that we can have our own platform. So we're gonna still work with them, but we're building our own platform because you can click in our platform and buy the tickets from us in a cheaper price.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we're building this platform this year. It's gonna take 6-7 months, but at the end of the year we'll have a El Cielo platform where you'll get in and you'll say Washington, Miami, Medellin, Bogota, or whatever city, and you'll purchase the menu.
Yeah, you guys are selling online products, and then they're redeeming them in store.
Yes, and the other thing that is gonna happen is you're gonna have a better price with us, and the other thing is that there's gonna be certain conditions, and we'll work in many
For
things.
sure.
But one of the things we're thinking is that you can have El Cielo credits. It's not gonna be a digital coin or anything. It's just gonna be a credit. but that credit can be redeemed in other cielos.
Oh my God.
Or you can pay for someone to go to Medellin online and you say, okay, I have credit. I'm going to invite a friend that's in Medellin.
Like a gift card.
Yeah,
kinda.
like kind of a gift card, but it's going to be all digital in your platform.
Incredible.
Then we're going to have like a loyalty program
Yep.
that will know your birthday. So if you went to Medellin and you're going to Washington for your birthday, we'll send you wine.
For sure.
So it's gonna be super cool because it's gonna be like we're gonna know the client to treat them better.
Yeah.
And if you have a food allergy in Medellin and you enter it in the platform, we'll know it in Washington.
Got it.
When you go to Washington. So it's gonna be very, very cool.
That is amazing, man. I mean, really, I love that. When we met at your restaurant, you said that you guys were using Toast. I know you said you're just using Toast also. Is this new platform you're going to build going to be on Toast also?
We'll have
Toast integrated, or
yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because each restaurant has to have a payment platform
For
for
sure.
the wines, for everything. But the platform we're building for the menus is going to be our platform.
yeah,
The thing is that you can buy a menu if you are walking, and you'll pay it in our local platform, because in Colombia we have different platforms that are not
For
Toast.
sure.
So we'll integrate like the best tools of everybody, but at the end, what we want to create is like a reward loyalty program for our customers to know them better and have them have better experiences.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is amazing. All I would say, where my brain goes as the marketer, right, is like Toast recently, now there's an integration between Toast and the advertising platforms like Meta or Google, right? And so now as of recently, right, anyone marketing, by the way, you should know this at this point, if you're running ads online, you can actually drive online sales and actually track the conversions now.
Yeah.
I mean, the restaurant space amazes me because it's moving so fast. It's changing so rapidly. Technology is making things so different compared to how it was now versus, like, say, pre-COVID, right? But they're so slow to catch some of these new trends. Like, even for us in our business, like, we started out in e-commerce space. We jumped into the restaurant space. And the biggest difference was that, like, hey, e-commerce, right? You're selling something online. You can track the conversion. You could see, hey, if I want to buy an iPhone case and I add to cart, I go to the checkout page, I go to the thank you page. Now I can see that, hey, I actually purchased it. And if I know that my iPhone case is $30 and it took me $5 to acquire that customer and sell them, well, now I made $25 profit minus product cost, right? Restaurant owners can't do that. Your product, you guys selling this online, with the right integrations, I mean, you could be really growing the business quick, and you could be tracking everything. That's
Another
amazing.
thing that we will do is that sometimes we do pop-ups in different cities, so you can also purchase the tickets for a pop-up in New York or LA or Madrid or Milan
my
or something.
God.
So it's gonna be also that very cool because like and that database that we'll have will say our clients like, hey, we're gonna do this pop-up in New York, you wanna come, like, and we'll integrate with the hotels, and because many people like they are in their travels, they are willing to have an experience.
Totally.
So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be very cool.
You guys are doing things that I don't think many other restaurant owners ever thought about.
It took us
really cool.
16 years to understand and grow the business
Yeah.
to the size that we could do it. Because when I was one restaurant, I could have dreamed that.
Yeah.
But I don't have enough resources and clients to do
Totally.
it for one restaurant. The good thing is that I have one product that's the same. It's different menus.
Yeah.
Because the ingredients change, but at the same time, it's one product that is El Cielo menu.
I love
So
this.
because I have just one product,
You're simplifying it.
I'm
Yeah.
simplifying it one product, El Cielo
Oh
menu.
my God, I love this, man. God, there's some really great nuggets here.
Another thing that's super cool that's gonna happen with that platform. You can gift card, so
Yeah.
you can pay. I don't know, your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's gonna be in Medellin with their friends. You can pay a gift card. She will have a unique QR code.
Totally.
She will arrive. All the check is already paid by you, and you buy. So you can send like gift cards to people in other cities
This
present.
is so good, man. Question for you on this note that I'm thinking about it. How do you guys, how do the tips work for the servers? Do they still get tips?
Yes, of course. That's transparent, and that's out of the business. So
is it based off of the total value of just the drinks though?
No,
or the whole thing.
No, when you purchase the menu, it has a value, and it has the tip and the tax, and you have to pay.
So it's ahead you pay, you decide.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow. Very cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are innovating way past it. Again, what many restaurants have ever even thought about. That's amazing, man. One thing I noticed, which at your restaurant, you guys had the QR code menu to look at the drinks menu.
Yes.
Why do you guys choose a QR code menu over a paper menu?
I love paper menus. I don't like so much QR codes because I'm a very kinetic. I like to touch things. But I understand that new generations are very digital, and that QR code allows many things. You can, when you scan the QR code, you can pop up the Wi-Fi and then get the mail of the customer, and then have some leads. So it has a lot of benefits for marketing, digital, and everything. So we have it because there's many people that don't want to touch a menu that was previously touched by somebody. So it depends. So we have both options. Yeah.
Okay. On that topic, because I think it's interesting. I mean, God, I had a friend, and it was like 2012. He was like doing stuff with QR codes, and nobody would buy into it. They're like, this is the weirdest thing ever. I don't like this. Now, fast forward, then COVID hit. Obviously, everyone was doing the QR codes. Now, I kind of noticed it's different. I spend a lot of time also between Brazil and the U.S., and it's interesting. Like in Brazil, a lot of restaurants, almost pretty much all of them, they're using a QR code menu. But what's interesting about what I noticed about Brazilian restaurants, brands down there versus the U.S. is like, you look at a menu in the U.S., most of them, it's just a QR code to PDF, right? Which I think works most of the time. I think you guys had that too. A lot of brands in Brazil, and this was kind of inspired one of our newest products coming out soon called Dishio, but they have a digital menu that's meant for the in-store experience. And so certain things like you can make the menu bigger if you need to. Like it looks kind of like if you're on Uber Eats and you're navigating through the menu. But what was the most exciting is like just what you said. It's like you have the ability to grab the data. You have the ability to maybe capture a phone number, an email, all these great things. I think what you guys are doing though also with your platform, knowing exactly who your customer is so you can better understand them. I think that's the moral of the story though, is how do we learn more about our customers? How do we understand their customer behavior? How do we get them to come back as often as possible, right? Do you guys have any strategy around that? Anything to encourage people to come back?
This is a very interesting year for us.
Yeah.
Because we are getting, this year we're getting a lot into technology. Mm-hmm. As I told you, we grew a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And now we think they have the structure to invest in technology. So yes, we will. And we're doing two things. Like one is the data of the customers, like the customer data is one thing, and the other data that we're gonna start working, we already start working, is anonymous data, and we're gonna mix them. So how are we planning to do this? For example, we'll work with you, and we'll have some leads of the people that do the QR code, and you say, okay, the people is ordering Sauvignon Blanc, or is ordering this cocktail, or we're doing marketing strategies. But we have another approach, is the anonymous data. So one thing that some companies have is that one we are working with is you can purchase the mobile movement from every company of cell phones in the world, but they won't give you the name of the dot. They will give you how the dot moves in the city. You don't know who is moving. So you when you see these maps, you see like in Brickell you'll see a lot of dots coming and going. So you'll see like all these knots and things happening. Then you ask anonymously to this data behavior map of days or something. Okay, let's go to El Cielo. Show me all the dots that came here, and show me where these dots came from and went after El Cielo. And you'll know, for example, for a happy hour, that people are coming from offices from Brickell to El Cielo for a happy hour, and they are going to Coral Gables.
Oh my God.
So you'll know, okay, my clients are coming from happy hour at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And they are living in Coral Gables. Then I come back to you and say, hey, do we have customers, leads from customers of Coral Gables? And you say, yes, a lot. Why? And I say, oh, okay, it's because we're understanding that
they go there.
Dots. So let's do a better and wider campaign in Coral Gables.
Oh my God.
And in many ways, one is like following the leads we already have, and then wide marketing campaigns, ads,
cold
and
outreach campaigns. Yeah.
Even you can put a poster on the street saying we'll wait for you next Friday in Happy Hour El Cielo, and it's in Brickell, and the poster is maybe in Coral Gables, because we're understanding that.
This is
so
good.
We're gonna start mixing anonymous data with leads, and with ads, and triangling that to bring more clients.
God, this is so sweet. This is the kind of stuff that really excites me, because here's the thing too. I was talking to one of my sales reps actually this last week, and like some restaurant owners, like they'll say that didn't show up to a call. Oh, I don't check my email. Like, come on, you can't email. You got to call me. You got to remind me that we're gonna have the call. It's like, dude, you have to embrace technology as a restaurateur. I think we're at the point now where it's like, you got to embrace it. You got to get rid of these old habits. I still talk to people all the time. They're doing radio and television ads. And in fact, we actually have an ad right now it's kind of making fun of those people. It's like, are you still doing radio? Are you still doing television? Yeah, well, here's the world 2024. Here's what it looks like. I love that. That is so amazing, by the way. I mean, it's I've never heard anyone talk about that. One thing you said a couple minutes ago was, you said that like in the beginning, obviously, you didn't have the resources or the time or the energy to focus on some of these bigger ideas. And now you do, which I love. And all these ideas you're talking about, I think are going to be great. I think they're great ideas. I think for a lot of people, though, something to know, and this is kind of a broader topic, but like so many people, they never solve like the money problem in the restaurant space. They're always stressing. They're always stressing about their margins and this and that. And they say, oh, well, that's just how the restaurant industry is. Oh, we don't have good margins. That's just the way it is. And they're always struggling. And they don't get out of it. And I always say, if you don't solve the money problem, you're never going to have these great ideas to get to the next step. And once you do solve that, though, you can relieve yourself of the stress and actually move forward, right? But for those people that are in that situation, I guess, I don't know, do you have any piece of advice for them?
Yes, but it may be not very useful. But at least I think it's one of the ways to hack that problem is that it's a money problem. So we have a saying in Colombia that is very redundant, but at the end that it said like, the good thing about the money problem is that money solved it. And you say it in life is like, you don't have a family problem, you have a health problem. Like, good thing about money problems are that money solves them. Yeah. So coming back to restaurants, the money problem have to be solved with money, but not with the money you are seeking in the day-to-day basis. It's very important to seek money and to be profitable in the day-to-day basis, because a business that's earning money, even is as low amount, will never get out of business. Mm-hmm. So you have to figure out two things. One is to micro-solve the profit generation problem. Mm-hmm. In if you're selling a coffee that coffee is being profitable, that's the money problem everybody's solving every day.
That's the first one, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to solve it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Of course.
But the second money problem that you have to solve with money is that when you're creating a business, one of the biggest problem that people do, or the biggest mistakes that people do when they are creating a business, any business, is that you're building a restaurant and you're gonna spend $1 million. So you say, okay, we need $1 million plus, I don't know, 50,000 in inventory and 50,000 in cash flow, and you do a business plan of 1.1 million.
Yeah.
In my case, if a restaurant is gonna be 1 million, then 100,000 in inventory, whatever, I will calculate a full year of rent, like fixed cost.
Yeah.
I will take all the fixed cost, not
Totally.
the variable cost like food, and I will say, I will multiply it by 12. So I'm gonna see how much that looks a year. And I'm gonna try to seek at least 6 months of that cash flow. So if I'm gonna have X amount of employees,
Yeah.
plus rent, plus this, and I'm gonna spend in 1 year 500K
Yep.
in that fixed cost, I will need 6 months, so it's 250. So to the 1.1 million budget, I will add 250,000. I will build the restaurant with 1.1 million, and I will remain and start my business with 6 months of breathing
Got it.
and air and oxygen to my business. That
I
way, if 1 day, 2 days, the coffee is very expensive and is not profitable, or 2, I'm not having enough customers, because restaurants has 1 year 2 problems.
Yeah.
Or you're not being profitable in your product, or you are not having enough customers. If you're having both, you're having a really bad problem.
Got it.
But usually it's one or the other. So if you have 6 months of oxygen, you don't have to be opening your restaurant with a sad face to your customers, because
Yeah.
you have an empty bank account.
Yes.
And you are starting business the
They can
first
feel
month.
it.
You can feel it, and you say, this is a new business, and this guy is like this.
I know.
Fuck, I'm not coming back. But if
Totally.
you have $250,000 for example, in your bank account,
Yep.
you are saying, okay, I have 6 months, but those 6 months
Yeah.
of fully paid rent and everything, because you start in a business, the business is gonna start giving you some money, so you can open wide those 6 months and make it last a year.
I see.
Because you're still in business.
Yeah.
You're still doing sales. So if you have 1 month that's bad, second month that's bad, that $250,000 in the example is not gonna be paying the full money. It's just gonna fill up the losses you have.
For sure.
So you're gonna open that budget and enlarge it.
For sure.
For a year or something, and it's gonna bring you oxygen to live. The secret is that those 250 in the example goes to the capex, not to the opex. You have to put them as as a capital of the company, not as operating capital, as
Okay.
an investment.
You have to. Yeah. So, and are you saying in this example, you're also like raising money in this example, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to say to the
course.
investor, the
This is
whole
what we
project is 1.5, not 1.1.
So and you're saying the biggest mistake that people make is when they're raising money for the restaurant, they're only raising what they think they need to start it, but they're not planning for that 6 months ahead.
Yes.
Oh my God, that makes total sense.
I'm starting. We are creating a hotel in the hotel in Bogota.
Yeah.
I'm leaving around $2 million in cash flow, and everybody's saying like you're crazy, because when they see the numbers, that will last for 10 years of cash flow if I lose like 20%.
If you start losing, yeah.
No, if I lose 20%, I can last 10 years losing 20% using that cash.
Oh my
So I
God.
say, okay, this is investment capital, not operating capital.
I see.
And in my in my P&L, I put them as capital, not as operating capital. we call it capex or opex. So we put like an investment, like it's like
sure.
like a refrigerator or something, and we depreciate that money, even it's cash. We depreciate it as it was a furniture, because we are never we are not treating that part of the money as cash.
Got it.
But as an investment that is being depreciated, because that is like a oxygen machine.
I see.
It's like we put an oxygen machine here to live.
Yes.
And we can depreciate it in the 10 years. And they say, no, that's cash. No. This is an oxygen machine.
Oh, this is so good.
So we live 10 years. And that's going to be depreciated in 10 years.
Oh, my God.
Forgot about that. That's not cash. That's oxygen.
So I want to ask you a question, too, because it's making me think. You started as a chef, a very, very damn good chef, and very creative what you do.
Thank you.
So congrats to you. That's amazing. But you also elevated way past any chef level for most chefs. You really are truly like the businessman and chef hybrid. You understand the business from the plate all the way through the business to even how you're depreciating. I'm sure it's credible for taxes and all this other stuff you're doing. I mean, this is big. Where did you learn all these things? Are there any mentors you look up to, or podcasts, or books you've read that maybe something that'd be helpful for some people hearing this? Like, holy shit, this is incredible. Where do I learn some of this stuff?
So I'm very lucky. My parents are my partners.
Yep.
My father is an attorney, but he had worked in finance and sales during his life.
Yep.
So he's a salesman, he's a finance guy, and he's an attorney, and he's a very tough guy, like old school.
Yeah.
Like so he took me to work with him when I was 12 to teach me. So he's one of my mentors. My mother is a mentor in like emotional intelligence and being very. She handles all human resources. She's the boss of the 400.
I love that.
My father is the CEO of the company. I'm like the visionary, and my mother handles all the human resources. So we do, first of all, a great team, and I've learned from them. The other one is that's a really good friend of my partner is the former president of Colombia, Iván Duque.
Got it.
He worked 10 years in the BID in Washington. He's one of the smartest guy I know. He ran the country beautifully in the pandemic. We were the first country to come back to normal.
Yeah.
In all countries of the world because of his.
Incredible.
And he's one of my mentors. I have had some other like people in my career that teach me a lot. But at the end. It's the struggle of the business every day that teach you.
100%.
It's that
Yeah.
that day-to-day basis when you have to, as a chef with a chef coat sitting in the restaurant with a tax attorney and they start talking about taxes, and after 15 years of listening to them, you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
For example, you were saying to me that I'm embracing technology,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm embracing it a lot, but I'm going to tell you something really fun about me.
Yeah.
I don't have email.
Oh, you don't have email?
No.
Oh my God, really?
I don't have. I have 3 emails, and Pedro, my assistant, he looks at them.
Yeah.
I have one personal email that I have in my cell phone. So when somebody sends me a personal email or something that's confidential, they will have to tell me, I send you an email. I'll go to the email.
Got it.
And look at that email and go back, and I don't check my email. I don't use email. I just use WhatsApp.
I see. Yeah.
And I'm very kinetic. So I love technology. I don't use it. I don't use technology. It's super funny because people say you are very analog, and I say, yeah, I'm very analog. I like conversations. I like to talk. I like
in-person stuff, tangible.
So I'm not. I don't see social media more than between 15 to 30 minutes every day. That's it, and I have my timers.
So your personal page, then, is that someone's managing that for you at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Locally, yeah. I at some point I was handling emails.
Totally.
Everything. For example, if I'm gonna look a spreadsheet or like a P&L, I have people print it for me, because also I'm very, very I'm very. Maybe ADD, like attention disorder.
I'm kind of the same. Don't worry.
The pantallas, the screens.
Yeah.
you have 30% more possibilities of being distracted because a window will pop or something.
Wait, so but when we connected though through Instagram, was that someone talking for you? Or
sometimes it's somebody, I answer you personally because
Yeah.
I sometimes I go and see the
Totally.
message, but 90% of the message we respond in my Instagram is not me.
Oh,
I want
wow.
to be with my daughter, I want to be in my kitchens, I want to
Totally
be in the business.
understand.
When I'm in a board, I ask, and everybody's like in their tablets and everything, I say, print me
Yeah.
the P&L. I want to see it, I want to have a pen, I want to...
Totally.
Yeah, because if not, I will get distracted.
Oh my
so,
God.
So I'm very analog. It's super funny.
But you so you're distracted, but you've created a lifestyle for yourself where that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm kind of the same way though. Don't worry. I get so distracted. It's incredible. But this is so interesting, and I love your whole approach. I mean, but again, you've evolved from a chef to now an owner, and I think a lot of restaurateurs. They started as chefs, similar, obviously, and then they have this big dream to start a business. But running a business and being a chef are totally different jobs, obviously.
And that's one problem that chefs have, and they struggle a lot. Because when a chef wants to be an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
would end being an administrator or a manager and not a chef. Because once they open their business,
Yeah.
there will be a point that they will be more demanded outside the kitchen. Because they already turn somebody and say, okay, nobody's gonna take taxes
Yeah.
either than me. Nobody, how I'm gonna market, how I'm gonna do this. So many chefs, a trap for many chefs,
Yeah.
are they decide to be entrepreneurs, open a restaurant alone, and end not cooking and being out of the kitchen. That's why good partners are very important. In my case, my partners are very important, but at the end we grow so much that I'm around 6 hours in the kitchen, but the other maybe 8 hours that I'm working during the day, I'm in the office or something.
So
Because
how many hours are you doing a day?
I do between 10 to 14 hours working.
Oh my
But for
God.
me, it's my hobby. I
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah.
I love it. Like,
Totally.
yeah. So.
No, that's amazing. So just overall question, what do you think, like, at this point, right? You're implementing a lot of new technology. You guys are growing like crazy, which is amazing. I love that. What are, I guess, in your opinion, overall opportunities that you see in our industry, in the restaurant space? What are things that you think people just need to be thinking about, or something you came across recently that you guys are particularly excited about in the industry?
Good question. I think that question is like fashion. Like when you saw fashion in 2000,
Yeah.
somebody will say, okay, the black is the color of the season, or these pants are. Now everything it's on trend. If you see one brand, they are doing this. If you see another brand, they are doing this. So right now the world is so big that everything is on trend, because it's a world which new things have. I think in the last 20 years we have, as humanity, created so much things that is very less space to a really big trend. So many things are really already created, but I think, and one thing that's my obsession, my dream, is space food. I'm gonna be one of the first chefs to cook in the space.
Oh my God!
Because if you think about it,
Yeah.
the next thing in a space is space tourism, and a space tourist has to eat.
Oh my
So
God!
because a space tourist has to eat, somebody has to cook.
No, this is really.
I'm gonna be up there.
I would have never guessed.
Saying, okay, I'm gonna cook for you. Welcome to the moon or the space or whatever. Because if there's gonna be a space tourism, they have to have space chefs.
And I mean, I'm only imagining. Obviously, it's damn expensive to go to the moon when they start doing this. It's gonna be people that are gonna want a luxury experience.
Yeah. Or I don't know. Well, I have tried. I've been imagining many things of, okay, if Bezos, Elon Musk, NASA, Richard Branson say, okay, Juanma, we're gonna hire you as a chef. What are you're gonna design? So I will think about two different approaches for a good meal and experience for a space tourist. One is, okay, I cannot go there yet because it's very expensive, so I have to send food to the space, and you open it, or somebody open it, like in an airline, and you'll serve my food like a space flight attendant will open my food. That's gonna be the first step.
For sure. That's so cool,
Then
man. I love it.
there's gonna be a moment. There's a bar.
Yep.
There's gonna be a kitchen, or at least to finish things.
Wait, how far out are we from this? And if you looked into this, it looks like.
I don't know.
Not
I
sure.
don't know about. I'm not. I can expect that in the next 20 years, space tourism is gonna flip 180 degrees.
Yeah.
179, because they already started with the space tourism 2-3 years ago. But I think in the next 10 to 20 years, we're gonna have definitely a recurrent space tourism. Like, I don't know, once a week, people going to space, maybe for 23 minutes, maybe in a balloon, maybe for a space station with a hotel for first gonna be 5 guests, and then it's gonna be.
This is really cool, man. I love it. And I guess just last question. I know we're kind of coming to the end of the time here too. What is something, maybe one mistake of yours that you guys have done from running your business that you would recommend either not doing, or what was the biggest mistake you made, and what you learn from it essentially?
I'm gonna finish the last idea because there's something that I wanna share that I always have been thinking. When I think as a chef, we put food on the plate. So when I'm thinking in two ways, and one of the things that I love nature, I love the earth. I think we have to do as humanity many things to save the earth. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when I see space exploration companies, what they are doing is guaranteeing that humanity doesn't die on Earth.
Yeah.
At some point, Earth's gonna die. But we as humans, we can choose not to die in Earth if we start doing colonies outside. So I think we have to save Earth, but at the same time, I think we have to. Humanity has to assure that we don't die on Earth with Earth.
I mean, man, I'm scared too. Is the AI phase coming up right now?
And the thing is that we have to start thinking how to grow food in the space to guarantee humanity not to die in Earth. Because if Earth dies, we have to grow food outside. So that's another thought that I want to just
this is cool, man. I mean, I like you mentioned this because I think, like you said in the very beginning of this interview, it's like you would have never imagined you've gotten to the point where you are, but you continuously bet on yourself, and therefore now you're here, right? And I think probably when you started, right, again, the idea of all this happening would have been a crazy idea, but you believed in it. You bet on yourself. And I think what you're saying right now too, by the way, I'm sure some people are listening to this and they're thinking, what's going on? Space? This? What? Like, we're so far from that, but we're not. And you're totally right. This is coming up real soon, sooner than I think we all think.
Yes. And
it's something that you're right. We got to think about it. Like I said too, the one thing I get a little bit terrified, I have a love-hate relationship with it, is AI. Because I love what AI does. We use it a lot at our company. We're so obsessed with it for all the amazing things it does. But, learning about AGI coming out, artificial general intelligence, right? Rewatching some of the Terminator movies as of recently, it's damn scary.
It's very scary. I was 6 months ago invited to a meeting of literally world leaders. It was a meeting of world leaders. I was cooking for them.
Yeah.
Around 40 of them.
Oh my God.
No, not just presidents but world leaders between Nobel Peace Prize, people that won Nobels, prime ministers, and I ended being invited to their conversation, and they invited 7 of the original creators of the AI, a guy from India, 2 guys from China, 2 Americans, another, and they were discussing about AI.
Wow.
They were saying that if AI should stay in a sandbox or will be open, and many things in the discussion. one of the most, I think the most smart comment of a professor from I think he was from Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
He interrupted the whole conversation, and he said, "We are at the doors." He said, "I have a daughter, and I have to understand that my daughter, that is 5, that is just starting her life, may not die on Earth, would have the ability to print an organ if she gets sick, and she will have the ability to pick up the color of the eyes of their sons or daughters, because of AI and technology." But he finished this sentence, and everybody was crazy with the sentence. He said, "We are opening the doors of giving to AI let me search for the word in English. We are giving to the AI
What's la palabra en español?
Estamos en las puertas de darle a la inteligencia artificial la soberanía, soberanía.
Is it the
Soberanía of humanity.
Got
so
it.
we are
like
basically
the keys or the consciousness of humanity.
No, the sovereign soberanía. Like what the army stands for. Like the army of a country stands for this to defend. Why don't you search soberanía? Soberanía is a beautiful word of because all the armies look up for the sovereignty of the countries.
Power.
No, pero no, esa no es la no, soberanía. Control. No. Yeah, it's control, but at the end it's a more deep. They at the end.
I already type it in. Yeah, and I want to know too. I'm so curious. Sovereignty. Yeah, I did not know that word.
So
in
AI
Spanish.
will decide the sovereignty of humanity in less than 50 years.
God.
And everyone was like so shocked that the discussion ended there.
Yeah, I mean it is really scary. I mean, did you hear about what happened recently with like how the founder of ChatGPT, or not founder, the CEO at least was fired, and then they brought him back? Did you hear about that whole situation?
I was with with him in that conversation.
Oh, he was. Oh my God! So you were there during this? Okay, so he was there.
No, not during that thing that happened. One of the guys.
Yeah.
In the conversation about AI was the founder of.
Was him. Well, there's a lot of rumors that they already came out with the AGI at this point, and then they basically shut it down and stopped it, and no one really knows. I don't know, whatever. But
did you see what
the fact that we're that close is scary? If we already
the Wi-Fi routers can do?
Yeah, how they can see you.
That's pretty scary.
I know.
Because an AI, like, it's gonna be good in certain ways. It's like, I don't know, Alexa can know through your router where are you, and maybe shut down the lights of the kitchen if you're leaving.
Or lock you in the elevator or something.
But at the end, if we lose control about that, they will rule humanity.
Yeah.
It's very scary. But
I know.
But in medicine, it's gonna be great. Like between big data and AI, like next thing will be printing organs.
The scary thing is too is that you can't program it. It's like the thing decides whatever it wants to do, and you can't tell it not to do it.
Yeah.
Suddenly when it has its own consciousness and it thinks for itself, it makes its own decisions.
Another scary thing that nobody's talking about is this. So AI, and it's already proven, but nobody's talking about this. So you teach them how to communicate. So you create a code. but they can create their own languages. So AI can communicate between AIs in a language that humans doesn't understand.
God.
So you can be seeing, I don't know, colors or dots or something, and you say, I don't understand this because this is not what I teach the AI. I teach them dot space dot whatever, and they are communicating by colors, by light, by something. They can create languages.
They can create a language we can't understand.
Their own to understand themselves without we never get comprehension about their languages.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be more scary too, because we will not know what are they saying one to another.
But they can just beam information to each other too. Like that's what Elon was saying with his Neuralink thing. It's like with his humans have we're slow when we communicate, right? Like I have to say one thing, you say one thing, I have to express it out. It might take me 10, 20, 30 seconds to even express something I'm thinking. But a computer can just beam information to you in a second. When you read a book, you're reading each page at a time, you're going through it. And AI can read a book in potentially seconds.
Yes.
Right? It just the input output of the information is what makes it so scary. How can it move so much faster and it doesn't sleep? It just needs an energy source. That's it. It's so scary. With that being said, I know when we're kind of towards the end of this, is we had a lot of interesting chats today. If anyone is interested and wants to learn more about you or learn more about your brand or just follow you for some insights, is Instagram the best place for them to follow you at?
Yes,
Okay.
I love Instagram. I'm there, like, it's my only active pause in the days, looking at Instagram like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
But yeah.
Cool. I love it, man. And I guess just one more question because I was thinking about it. Do you guys ever see yourself someday in the restaurant business incorporating AI robotics into the kitchen?
One of the conversations I have with one of them was like, hey, how do you think AI will be incorporated in restaurants or hotels?
Yeah.
There's an idea that we're gonna start working on, is that we're gonna try to put, like, for example, like an Alexa in your room in our hotel, and then you can ask her for anything you need. You don't have to pick up the phone. So I don't know, Alexa or Siri or whatever, bring me coffee. So the coffee, she will look to the spreadsheet of the different coffees that we have. What type of coffee you want? A latte, oat milk, whatever. Okay, this. So she will place an order to the kitchen. The kitchen will have it, and then she will call the waiter to go and bring you the coffee to your room.
Totally.
Just talking to her. The other day, you will say, okay, wake me up at 5. Okay, do you want your coffee? Okay, the same coffee, the way you like it? The latte with this and this? Oh, yes, okay. So you want me to have it 3 minutes after you woke up? Yes, perfect. So she will, she will do everything, like.
So in that regard, it gets better for sure.
Yeah, and okay, I'm going to the pool or to the spa. Do you want a green juice in the spa? Yes, okay. So book me a massage. What massage do you want? Book me a green juice. Then
yes.
I want the personal trainer in the gym or whatever.
And that's all already. And that's, I think, we're already underway to making this all happen. I mean, my whole house, I get scared of this too, though, is all Google. I mean, I have these little Google pods all over my house. I can open up my curtains, turn the lights on or off, change the lights, open the door, even all this stuff, right? But what about the actual robotics, like getting a robot in the kitchen?
I don't think in fine dining we're gonna see that really soon, because at the end, what people is paying at the end is that unique human skills. How we cook the fish, how do we put enough salt or acid, because at the end the products are natural. So sometimes we have red tomatoes and one is sweeter than the other.
Yeah.
A robot's not gonna taste that. We have to correct with some sugar, or the acidity of the tomato is different. So at the end, there's something really human about food.
Totally.
That's not gonna change in many years. What's going to happen in many industries is that a milkshake, a coffee shop, many things that that's gonna be easier. You
more simple.
you pour a coffee,
Easy.
100 milliliters of water with 8 grams of coffee. That's gonna happen. It's already happening. If you see Asian
you're
coffee
totally
shops,
right.
you have the robots with the arm robots that they take things. But in the fine dining, I don't see that happening soon in terms of cooking.
Absolutely.
Maybe a cool restaurant is going to invest in a robot, and the robot is going to bring you one of the desserts. So
The server or something too.
Yeah, but at the end, the human interaction is part of our human nature.
Wow.
And that's not going to change.
No, that makes total sense, 100%. Well, Juan, thank you so much for today, man. This has been awesome. That was great.
No, thank you.
Loved it. And thank you again for dinner tonight. That was incredible. With that being said, guys, we'll wrap things up. Juan, I can't wait to come back to the restaurant. It was, again, incredible. Let's get drinks another time soon.
Yes.
And we'll be seeing you around. Thanks a lot. See ya.